when Pope Francis, whose birth name was Jorge Bergoglio, did one of his first major media spots after his election, the interviewer asked him the question, "Who is Jorge Mario Bergoglio?" And he answered, "I am a sinner." While true, it was still a shocking opening response. It would have been as if Babe Ruth, near the end of his career, had been asked, "How would you describe yourself as a baseball player, Babe?" And he would have responded, "I'm a player who strikes out more than just about anyone else." I mean, that was true. But it was also true that in certain seasons, Babe Ruth single-handedly hit more home runs than almost all the other major league teams. Likewise, the Holy Father would have surpassed almost all of us in his prayerfulness and devotion and virtue. But he chose to lead with the truth that unites him to all of us. He is a sinner in need of God's mercy, in need of the saving work of Jesus Christ. And today's scriptures reveal that in doing so, Pope Francis continued a practice recommended by Jesus and practiced by Christian leaders going back to St. Paul himself. In today's reading, we hear Paul's first letter to his young protege, Timothy. And in this very opening, Paul boldly and directly acknowledges his past sins for blaspheming against Christ and persecuting his church. And in today's gospel, Jesus teaches his disciples that they must honestly admit and humbly work on their own sins and weaknesses before trying to help those under their care grow in the moral life. But can this humble approach be a good one for us who are not great leaders or saints? Can we really be so open about our failures and sins without undermining our credibility among the people we care for? I remember once hearing a family psychologist warn that if parents admit their past mistakes too clearly, their kids might be less likely to accept their parental discipline or listen to their moral advice. I have no idea what the psychological consensus is on this topic, and I'm a priest, not a therapist. I do have to wonder, though, how all of this might play out for parents who take the time to develop real intimacy with their children, and especially work hard to nurture their family's common spiritual lives. That is, can moms and dads who really pray with their children, who help steep their families' lives in the fullness of the gospel, can these parents simultaneously be for their children both fellow human beings who sin and need God's mercy, as well as loving authority figures who deserve trust and respect? I hope and believe that this could be true. And if it is, we will see that Venerable Patrick Peyton's famous slogan is not simply a catchy tagline, but an invitation for the family in its very inner life to embrace the gospel and form disciples.